So I had a post that went viral and I got almost 1 million views. Maybe by the time you hear this, I maybe would have reached 1 million views already. I'm almost there. And up until this point, I had never gotten anything over 6,000 views. So for go from 6,000 to 1 million is wild. I got over 600 new followers, but that's really just a vanity metric. From the 600 new followers, I reached out to every single new follower. I'm going to tell you exactly what I said to them, which led to 40 signed outbound referrals, which with my average outbound referrals being $2,500, if like a third, a half of them close, it's going to be over 50K. So I want to tell you exactly what that post is. I'm going to give you the link to exactly the Canva like template that you can use, copy and paste, tweak for your numbers in your area. I'm going to link to you the actual Instagram post so that way you could see it for reference. And I have other resources on this Google Doc that I am sharing to everyone for free. If you don't already have access to the Agent Goldmine, you can follow along on this Google Doc with me. I'm pretty much going to be showing you step by step. Go on theagentgoldmine.com.
Welcome to The Agent Goldmine, the only podcast in the world specifically for real estate agents who are stuck at 5 transactions a year to help them get to 20 plus. Your hosts, Ali Garced and Shelby Johnson, 2 EXP icon agents, each do over 40 transactions a year and interview others who are crushing it. In this podcast, you'll receive the knowledge to help you scale your business using systems and processes with our interviews and monologues twice a week. If you want to be a part of our community, reach out. Welcome to the show.
Before I get started, Shelby, do you have any questions?
No questions, but Ali, that's so fucking sick, dude. It is so sick. It's like, because you have been so consistent with social media for years now. It's been like your bread and butter and you've just been sending it and you've built a huge, amazing business off of it. But to have finally, after that amount of time, just one that goes fucking viral, explodes, you know, I bet you woke up the next day and was like, what is happening? And then it just keeps ramping. Because the last time I talked to you, you weren't at 40 signed outbound referrals. I think it was like 13 or something the last time I got an update. So that is insane. Congratulations, Ali the animal.
Thank you so much. And I do want to start it off with you saying that I have been posting every fucking day. Like, this is not like a happenstance or like, wow, Ali got lucky. Since 2022, when I got licensed, I've been posting practically a reel every single day for 3 years, over 3 years. And so this isn't, I mean, it's a mixture of luck. What's that like quote with like the luck is when opportunity, whatever that shit is, you know what I'm talking about?
A combination of hard work and good timing, I think.
Oh, I haven't heard that one,
well,
but
that's
I
what
like
my dad
that.
always said growing up.
Oh,
said
I
luck
like
is
that.
a combination of hard work and good timing. My dad has a bunch of like little quotes that now, like,
Let's
I was just like,
on.
shut up, Dad. And now I'm like, that's just good.
Yeah, record him. We should bring him on.
No.
No.
Okay, maybe.
So like, that's what it is. Like, I don't want anyone to think, oh, Ali got lucky, because this shit was like so much fucking work and I would be stoked whenever a reel of mine got 1,000 views. And recently somebody in our community posted what it looks like to have 50 people watch your, reels, or what it looks like to have 100 people. And 100 is a lot. So for those that have not already been inside the Agent Goldmine, www.theagentgoldmine.com, we give all of our resources out for free. So check it out. It's the one labeled Ali's viral video - steal this. So it's under section 2, which is marketing. I popped it in here. So Shelby has a question.
Yeah, I was going to say, finish what you were going to say, but no, I want to ask. So you mentioned in the beginning, you're like, oh, but that's just a vanity metric. And I think that it's important that you just talk about what a vanity metric is and why they're not as important as, other types of metrics. So can you just a little like spit on me real quick? Spit is
Yeah. Yeah, everyone.
Yeah, I'm
everyone
wiping it on my eye right now. Thank you.
everyone like talks about followers of subscribers or, you know, how many, like the view count, which is all like good and fun. But if you're getting thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of views or subscribers or followers, and it doesn't turn into clients that pay you or outbound referrals, you know, where you connect a client with an agent in the area that the client is purchasing in. And if it doesn't give you money, then who the fuck cares? You know, like, so, and it's hard in the beginning to start rewarding yourself or feeling good about your social media output because there isn't really much to base it off of until you get paid. So it's really easy to slip into the vanity metrics, which is, oh my gosh, I got a like, or oh my gosh, this post got 100 likes, or, you know, somebody commented on it, or oh my God, somebody followed. It's all bullshit. It only matters if it pays you. So, so vanity metrics, subscribers, followers, likes, hearts. The only thing that actually matters is, in my opinion, looking back at this now, is shares. At this time, algorithms always change. At this time, if somebody finds your content worthy enough of a share, that means that you are providing enough value to where that person actually took the time to send it out to someone that they know. They're not going to send it to a stranger. They're sending it to someone that they recommend. So, you know, like they're almost putting their reputation on the line. Like, hey, Shelby, this is something that's related to Lexington, Kentucky. I think you may find value. I'm not going to send Shelby bullshit. So always think about, when you're posting, always think about, is this worthy of a share? That's what I kind of go for. Did that answer?
It did. Thank you so much,
Yay.
Allie. Okay, let's do it. We're going to talk about exactly what the post is, right? Is that where we're starting?
Yes. So the first link in this document is the IG post that went viral. It'll take you to that exact link. It was a reel, a 3-part reel. The first section is a cover photo. The second section and the second 2 sections are specifics. What it was how much BAH, 2025 BAH, or basic allowance for housing, military members can afford, and not just how much they get for BAH housing allowance, it's how much does that translate into with property prices. So all I did in this post that went viral was, and I'm going to go into lessons learned after, so stick around. Those are like probably the most important out of all this. So what I posted was how much Tucson, Davis-Monthan Air Force Base BAH is with each rank. So the first page was the cover photo, and I made it like, I wanted it to be valuable, right? So I put all of the logos, not the logos, all of the ranks on there, like the images of like a colonel, a lieutenant colonel, a major, a captain, first lieutenant, second lieutenant. Same thing with enlisted ranks, E9 through E4. And so I posted that as a cover photo, and in the title, I put 2025 BAH rates. The second part of this reel was just the officer, because if I were to put all the officer ranks plus the enlisted rank, it's going to be too much. So I try to make it like as easy, as visually appealing as possible. So I put the officer stuff from 06, what they could afford based off of their BAH, down to 01. And, you know, with the little logo next to it, the little, you know, photo of the rank. And then the third page was the same thing, but for enlisted, E9 through E4. So that is it. All I did, which is the next. And so how can you replicate this, right? Like, how can you steal this for this year, for future years? I plan on doing this every single year. What I did, it really helps if you actually work military, know what the hell you're doing with the VA loan. Otherwise you're going to look like a moron. So if you have never worked the VA loan, I would suggest you don't post this shit. People are going to see through it when they're like, hey, my report related to the date is, and you're like, what's a PCS again? So, but if you do work military, if you want to get into the VA loan, definitely get a lender that knows their shit. And So this more so helps the agents that are near a military base. Doesn't have to be Air Force, a military base. So the first step, well, actually first, before I go into the first step, Shelby, do you have any questions about the actual post or any comments?
So I went to your Instagram page. I'm not on like your cheat sheet page. And so just confirming, the one that went viral is the one that's Hawaii 2025.
That one also went viral, but no, that's the one that just got like 150,000 views.
What
The
was
other one got almost a
what am I
million.
looking at?
It should just say 2025 BAH. It does not say Hawaii because that was one of my lessons learned. It should be pinned onto my
Is it pinned?
page.
Oh, it is. It's literally pinned. And I'm scrolling looking like a fucking idiot.
Okay.
So you're right.
Cool.
Okay. It's pinned right there. Okay, cool. So yeah, if you guys are like me and you're just going to Allie's page, it is the very first pinned one on the left with 5,288 likes, which are vanity metrics.
Yep.
How many shares did it have? How do I see that? I don't think I
3,001.
Yeah, no, that's what's up. Okay, cool. No, I think I'm good. No questions.
Okay, cool. Actually, I do want to talk a little bit further about this post. So not only did I go do the math, but which is going to come into step 1 and step 2, but in the caption, I posted exactly what the assumptions that I had for the post. So a lot of people, there are different like methods of thinking about what to put in the caption or the description. Some people just put like so many freaking words just to try to get people to recycle and essentially keep people on the same reel and having that reel post over and over and over again or play over and over and over again while they're reading. I did not do that on purpose for this one. I actually, because there were a lot of assumptions that went into this. It's not just like, hey, kernels, this is what you can get. There are a fuck ton of assumptions. So I wanted to put everything out there detailed so that way they know that I'm not just making shit up. So I put a caption on there. I also did the tag, or I tagged my location as a portion, like somewhere on that base. So not just, sometimes I did the base in general following this. Sometimes I did like the fitness center at Davis-Monthan Air Force Base. Sometimes I did, the BX or the Exchange, whatever. So that's that. First step in actually doing this that you can literally just steal. Google 2025 BAH rates. If you're finding this on 2026 or any other later year, Google the year BAH rates. Military members, their pay is public. Just look it up. Everyone knows how much every single person makes in the military. So look up their housing. That link that I have in the agentgoldmine.com will take you to the specific link that you need. All you need to do is look up the zip code. So whichever base you're near, say you're in Little Rock, Arkansas, you should probably know whatever zip code Little Rock Air Force Base is. All you need to do is just put in Little Rock Air Force Base, the zip code, and then on the right-hand side, it'll have a drop down of whatever rank you're looking for. I did that, and I put it in an Excel spreadsheet. The Excel spreadsheet that I already have for every other base is for our community, for my downliner EXP. So I did that for every single rank, 06 through 01. Actually, I didn't do warrant officers, and E9 through E4. After I had all their BAH, like how much is the military paying them just for their housing allowance? Then step 2, I went to mortgagecalculator.org, which is free for everyone. And I put in specific assumptions to try to find an amount, a monthly mortgage amount, PITI, that would be less or at least as close to the BAH as possible. So, for example, in this case, I did today's interest rates, which has changed from 6.5 to 6.75 for the VA loan. So the assumptions that I put on mortgagecalculator.org were, I assumed a 30-year fixed rate with the VA loan. I assumed 0 down payment. I assumed no PMI. I actually looked up the property taxes. Like I looked up a couple of properties within each specific area for like a regular 3-bed, 2-bath. How much is a typical property tax amount? I looked up insurance amounts. I clicked VA loan and then I clicked calculate. So I plugged and played each number. I matched as much as I could. And from there, I was able to get what the kind of like max of each rank of what they could afford with just their BAH. And guess what? This number is so fucking low. It got like a lot of engagement. Like, holy shit, Colonels can't even afford a median sales price property in Tucson, Arizona. Like, that is the straight truth. So that may have led to some of the engagement being like, holy shit, like Colonels don't make anything. And I'm an E4. So what the hell does that leave me? Which is 100% the truth. But I wanted to make this super, super conservative because sometimes people want to see just how much their housing allowance is. Now, do military members usually just stick to their housing? Absolutely not, because BAH lags by years.
I paid off one of my mortgages in just 4 months thanks to the shred method. I personally use the shred method to manage my money and crush my mortgage faster than I ever thought possible. The system was simple, the customer service is top notch, and the results speak for themselves. $121,000 of a mortgage balance gone in just 4 months. I put my money where my mouth is, and it worked. If I can do it, so can you. This can not only help you, but your business as well. Help your clients not only buy homes, but also pay their mortgage off faster and build equity sooner. When you add this kind of value to their lives, you're not just their agent, you're their go-to advisor for life. The shred method sets you apart and keeps your clients coming back. So go to theshredmethod.com to learn more about how you can shred your mortgage and help your clients do the same.
Before I continue rambling, Shelby, do you have anything?
Comment is, I really think it's smart for you to lay out all of the assumptions made, because I know there's probably someone who's like, oh, if she didn't lay it out, she probably could have got even more trolls and comments and fuck you and like all of the stuff in the comments. But I think it's really helpful to show, and it makes you appear even smarter, like you know what you're doing, when you list out all of the assumptions, because people are probably reading them and being like, oh, wow, I didn't even know that I should consider these things or whatever. So they're like not only learning, but you're also showing your expertise and giving the trolls slightly less. I don't know. It was good. Good job, Allie.
Thank you. Thank you. I will say I got a lot of heat on this because like when something goes viral, you're going to get haters. So I don't mind it anymore. I got called a dependa. I got called, you don't even know what the hell you're talking about. You never even served a day in your life. I'm like, okay. I'm like, sure, you're right.
Right.
I didn't say that, but like with you're going to get hate. So I just want people to know that. And boy, will you get some hate, but it's engagement. I'm almost like, sometimes I even want to egg them on. I'm like, I want to say something, but I'm like, I can't because
so they get egged. I also, one other thing with this, I noticed too that you changed your bio, and I assume that's because of this post. Do you want to talk about that for a second?
100%. So my bio prior to this was agent facing because I love helping agents build their business. And I don't want to say I took a step back from sales, but it just wasn't my first priority. My first priority is helping the agents that join me at EXP go from $100,000 to $200,000 in the first year that they join us. Then it was like just helping out other agents, providing value. After this shit went so viral that I didn't want to come off as somebody that's just like, hey, agents, I can help you go from 100, which is exactly what the bio was. I can help you go from 100K to 200K. I'm like, this makes me look fucking sleazy now that all of a sudden my Instagram is tailored to another audience. So I did change it. I changed it to comment PCS for me to help you with your permanent change of station, aka your move in the military, for those that don't know. And so do I even have an automation set up for PCS? No, I just changed it on the fly. So I was like, well, at least it won't be, I just need to change it now because I started getting a lot of inbound requests saying, hey, can you do Dyess Air Force Base? Can you do Fort Rucker? All the things. So I was like, okay, I want to flex at this point just because I don't want to come off as an agent that's just like using me for, a commission check. I don't want it to come off like that. I actually do want to help these members get connected to an agent that knows their shit about the VA loan because so many agents do not. And so many people in the military don't know shit about the VA loan either. Like just no one knows about the VA loan and we do. So I can help. Did that answer that? Yeah. So with that, sometimes I did reply to the negative comments because I wanted other people, because if that person had an inkling of that, like I didn't serve or I was just doing this for the money, I did want other people to see. So I don't comment to start a fight. Well, sometimes I don't. I don't comment for them. I comment for others. I respond back for others. Just like with a Google review. Like you respond back, and the way that other people are viewing your response shows them whether or not they want to work with you, whether or not they trust you. So whenever somebody responded saying, hey, you haven't even served a day in your life, I was like, actually, I did 10 years active duty Air Force. I served as a federal agent and blah, blah. So I'm more than happy to help you. I've been stationed in like 8 different locations in the US. Like if you need help, I'm more than happy to help. I always did it in like a place that was like, I really, really tried to, come at a place of giving, because that's what this was, like I tried to make this as easy as possible for a simple, like person in the military to know how much realistically can I afford. With that, I will say prior to me even posting this one that went viral, almost 1 million views for Tucson, I reached out to my lender and I was like, I know that you can get pre-approved for more, but like, what are your thoughts on this? And he was like, oh yeah, like I think you should probably post higher because they can get pre-approved for more. So I will say, as you run these numbers, this is different from what a lender will be able to pre-approve them for. Of course, everybody's credit score is different. Everybody's DTI is different. You know this already. But in general, a lender can take 100% of someone's BAH as well as 50%, 50, of someone's BAS. So they're going to likely get pre-approved for a fuck ton more. So these numbers were very low, assuming that someone doesn't want to pay anything over for the mortgage, like just their BAH for the mortgages right now is just like so not realistic with today's interest rates. Anything, Shelby? Or should I continue?
This is I was thinking about the bio just slightly more, and this is just one more note on that before we like close the chapter. But what she did, she thought about who's viewing my page now. I'm getting an influx, and what will they think when they view my page is something that I challenge everyone who's listening to do, because I see time and time again, people will try to relate to everyone, talk to everyone. I don't want to eliminate anyone from my page. I want everyone to feel included, but just remember that like, if you are talking to everyone, you are talking to no one. So when you're doing your bio, when you're deciding on what you want to be with your online identity, this is the importance of target audience, which we have talked about many times before, but just put yourself in their shoes. How would they feel in viewing this page? And if you need to adjust, just like Allie did, then adjust. But that's it. That's all I want to say.
Thanks for mentioning that. Yeah, no, like totally true, because that's exactly what I did. Going back to this document after that, so we now have the mortgage calculator. We've already looked up the interest rates, the interest rate, the average property tax, insurance for that specific area. The last link on this is the actual Canva link that you could just copy and paste, or if you can't copy and paste, you could just duplicate or whatever it is, like copy just to make it your own. There you go. It's my gift to you. So that way you can use it now, in the future, whenever you want. Going into the description a little bit more, or the caption, I put this on, I recently made actually a YouTube video on my channel about how I'm no longer going to focus on TikTok. I'm only going to focus on 2 social media places, which are those that have already provided me enough ROI to where I know that these 2 stand out, which is Instagram and Facebook for me. If I want to, then I'll post on LinkedIn, but that's it. Like, I'm no longer going to mentally exhaust myself on making a post and making sure that I post it on Threads and Twitter and other shit that I'm just never on, because that's only going to eventually result in somebody reaching out. And if I do not answer, it's going to be a waste of my time and I'm going to kick myself. And I no longer have my VA to help respond back to every single person on the platforms that I'm not in. So this year, 2025 is more about like focus for me. So Facebook and Instagram, and it just happened to be, it just happened to be something that worked out so far. So following that, and on the description, I don't know if this made a difference, but I think between like 3 to 5 hashtags. I used 2025 BAH, hashtag Davis Monthan, Tucson AZ, I think, and then Tucson real estate, something like that. So you can look at the post as far as what exact captions or hashtags I did. And then I posted for the music, in case this makes a difference. I used, when you post a reel on Instagram at this time, and you click music, it'll like automatically pick one for you. I did not change it. I just used the one that they suggested. I didn't look it up. I was like, oh, sure, whatever. It doesn't sound atrocious. So whatever. I posted it. So like, I really thought nothing of it. I didn't do any of those things that some people say to do, which is like add like swipe for a different filter so that way Instagram knows that you're editing on their platform. I didn't do that. At this time, like that's what I've heard. It was like sometimes add something on the screen, like text on the screen, so that way Instagram knows that you spent time on their platform editing your shit. No, pass. I didn't even think about that. I just like posted it and it just happened to be enough value by taking that. What I think is help with the value was it took that extra step of converting BAH into home prices. Now I want to go into my lessons learned, unless Shelby, you have anything else before I go into them.
No, I just thought those were really good notes. I didn't know about swiping for a different filter, like trying to game the system. I didn't even know. So I wrote notes of that, but it didn't matter because you didn't do it and it still went viral. So nope, ready, go on.
Yeah. I mean, you can either try to game the system or you can just provide fucking value. So, and at this time, I now am a believer that Instagram is helping the small creator, like pushing their shit out more. So, okay, lessons learned. The most important part of all of this. Number one is treat every post like it will go viral. If I were to do this post differently, I would have put Davis Monthan Air Force Base on the cover screen or Tucson AZ in the cover screen. All I did was put 2025 BAH rates because up until now, no one really has watched my shit. Like I had almost 5,000 followers or whatever, but like, yeah, so if I were to do this again, because a lot of the comments that I got was like, oh, cap, this is cap. And I'm like, oh my God, you're 14. Like, I don't quite know what that means. So
Wait, what does
I would
mean?
have
Cap.
It means that you're lying.
Oh,
I'm like,
okay,
I'm not lying, it's numbers, but also so I responded to some of them. I'm like, correct. For the majority of bases, this is a lie. Please read the description. So that ended up being a lot of my response to comments was read the description, and I wouldn't had to do that much or as much if I had just posted what base that was for. However,
do you think it would have gone viral though?
Exactly. Would it have gone viral? I don't know. So I don't know. Maybe I can consider that lesson learned a wash. Maybe that wasn't even lesson learned. Number 2, this is exactly what I did up until this point. I had been very, very weary of who I follow on Instagram. I don't know why. I really don't know why. After this, as I started getting like an influx of leads and followers and messages, I will say followers were significantly more than messages. I got 600 or maybe a little bit over at this point followers. I did not get 600 messages. I wanted to turn these hot people into into clients or see if I could help. So I followed every single person that followed me. I followed them back. And not only did I follow them back, I messaged them after I followed. Because I think sometimes with Instagram, if you get a message from someone that doesn't follow you, it can go into spam or unread. So I didn't want to do that. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to follow everyone. Why have I been stingy with my followers or with my follows? So I followed every single person that followed me and I messaged them. And this is exactly what I said. I said, I started a saved note or a saved reply on my Instagram, which you can do directly from the app. And so when you go into someone's DMs, I'm in here right now, there are 4 icons on the bottom right. If you go to the one that looks like the chat bubble with 3 or 4 dots, oh God, I'm 34 now. I can't see if that's 3 or 4 dots. You'll see saved replies. I clicked on the plus on the top right and I created my own saved reply. This is exactly what I said to every single follower. I had a pre-canned note that said, "Thanks for the follow!" exclamation point. Line 2 was, "Are you enjoying the content, comma?" Line 3 was, "or getting ready to buy/sell, question mark." And before I just sent out that canned message, I made sure to look up their name and I would personalize it by adding their name. Shelby with a million Y's at the end. Thanks for the follow. Are you enjoying the content or getting ready to buy and sell? I did that in that reason with 3 lines because it's easier to read, and with the last question being getting ready to buy or sell. Because typically when people get a question like that, they always end up choosing the latter, the second. Hey, can I help you with anything? Or are you just browsing? I'm just browsing. Yeah, it's always like the second one. So I was like, you know what? I want the second one. So I put that second. Then if they responded with anything related to, yeah, I'm looking to buy or sell, then perfect. Where and when. And if I knew of a good agent, or if I knew that someone I knew would have a good agent, then I would tell them that I had a connection there of someone that actually is like that I personally vet with the VA loan. I'm not going to send them out to somebody that has done fewer than my requirement is if you've done over 6 VA loans in the last 12 months, then you know enough about the VA loan. And at that point, you probably have a good lender partner that you can rely on. As long as they weren't going to pass on my lead to somebody else. But that goes into my referral business, which I've done other podcasts on. So if they said, oh, I'm just, here to just enjoy the content or here to learn, or no, I'm not looking right now. Then I had another saved response, which I had under text replacement on my iPhone, and I did it with great. So I would put great exclamation point. And then when I type in great exclamation point, it auto populates the rest. It says, great. Well, if you have any questions about real estate, let me know. I've used the VA loan 3 times personally, and I now have 7 properties, and I've helped over 100 people use the VA loan. So that was my canned response. Sometimes that was enough for people to say, oh, well, actually, I am moving to Chattanooga. So if you know of anyone. And if not, if they're just like, cool, yep, then that would be it. Now, with all of these messages, 600 of them, I had to organize them. So I started using, I don't know if anyone has ever done this before, but organization on Instagram. I started flagging people that had a potential to be connected. If someone said, hell yeah, I think I'm going to be moving this year. I know I'm going to be moving this year. I don't know where yet. I would, if you swipe left on somebody's message thread and you click more and you click add label, there are several different labels that you can put on them. So I put flag, and for every single lead, after I connected them to an agent, I would change it from flag to booked. So that was like that's all in lesson number 2. Any questions on that before I move on to my third lesson?
If you're looking to change brokerages this year so you can increase your business and you want to join us at eXp Realty and would like either myself, Ali Garced, or Shelby Johnson to personally sponsor you in, so that way you have access to 2 icon agents, text the word join to either my number, 914-318-4918,
or Shelby's number, 859-267-3849.
If I sponsor you and you have access to the both of us and everything that's 5 Pillars Nation, we have the checklist, the systems, the processes to help you scale your business. And don't take our word for it. We've had agents switch brokerages to join us that were stuck making $300,000 GCI, and they join us so they can scale. So text the word join to those numbers and we'll take the next steps.
There still is no way to pin, right? There's no way to pin in messages.
You can pin one, I believe, and then it just vanishes. I don't know how to keep it pinned. So,
okay. The other thing that I started using with organization that I don't know, do you use your separate inboxes where it's like, there's like a something, then there's like a general?
I wish. No, I no.
Okay.
There's like a primary, a general, and something else. Yeah.
Yeah. There was, that's the only other thing that, like, for people out there who are struggling with organization, because it's a lot easier for me to stay organized in other platforms than in fucking Instagram, because I can't pin. And when I mark on red and shit gets buried, I'm like trying to scroll to find that shit. You know what I mean? Like it's not fun. The only other thing that has helped me previously is utilizing that primary to general. As like someone who is interested, I would move them from there to the general, and then also you can flag. It's been a while, but I just didn't know if you were. It's fine. You did great. We did the flags. We did the book. We were there. Okay, next.
Yeah. I mean, in a perfect world, I would have leads, or maybe even in a perfect world, I would have those that I have connected with an agent under primary. And then I'd probably just keep everything else general. In my general section, I'd probably flag there for a lead before connecting.
Yeah, because it's so much to keep up with. The inbox,
much.
Yeah, maintenance. Like, that's insane. It's really, really challenging.
Yeah. I also did a whiteboard because I was like, I need to put this in a way that I can see all at once. So yeah. 2 more lessons. Lesson 3, and this may sound harsh, but if I were to do it again, I would not put E4. E4s barely qualify. And it was, this sounds so harsh, but it was just more time consuming than it is. There's very, very, very little ROI. If my ideal client is a captain, a lieutenant colonel, a major, or a colonel, I don't want to be answering questions of those that don't that 50% chance they don't qualify. I realize that in some bases, E4s aren't, or some rank and some branches, E4s aren't even allowed to move off base. I didn't know that. In Air Force, you can move off base, but like, so that's where I got a lot of comments too from Army people, I think, being like, you can't even move off. This person doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. I was like, whoa, you guys can't move off base at E4. That sucks. Air Force, you can. So yeah, like I didn't know that Army couldn't. So like, why am I going to do that when the chances are so small that they can even qualify and that they can move off base? So from now on, I'm not doing E4. Number 4, my 4th lesson is I got very excited whenever I got a lead. So I would immediately find an agent, if I didn't already have one, qualify the agent, but I didn't qualify the lead. I didn't actually, because I wanted to just move them while they were hot, but they're not moving tomorrow. I only had 3 leads that are closing in March, which is the soonest, because they really, right now, when I posted it, it was December 2024. Right now we're in mid-January 2025. So people are now getting orders. So I got swept up in like the excitement. I was like, oh my gosh, let me connect them tomorrow, when they aren't moving until like June, July, August. We have 6, 7, 8 months. So what I would have done is qualified, not just the agent, because I definitely qualified the agent. And I would have qualified the lead more. Are you able to move off base? Because I realized I was talking to some E3s and I was like, what am I doing? You can't even move off base. Like, no, you cannot use the VA loan when you're in Texas to purchase in California. Like, bro, I used to investigate that shit. No, you will go to jail. Like, so I would have qualified the lead a lot more. Timing really just it goes back to the formula of ready, willing, and able. And do they know, like, and trust? I already somewhat had the know, like, and trust because of the post itself, but are they actually ready, willing, and able? I would have spent a lot more time on that because I already had to take back 2 out of it was 42. So now it's 40 outbound side referrals, but I had to take back 2 because they were like, oh, I didn't know that I had to be there. I'm like, well, you can still purchase with a conventional loan, but then that puts them at 20% down payment for an investment loan, and they were an E4. So kind of all the lessons kind of go together. Take what I learn from it. I for everyone that was in my downline, I gave them the exact link and all of these links within 2 hours of this post going viral. I was like, bro, I got 20,000 views. It's been 2 hours. Take this, copy it, paste it, post it. Like, don't give me credit. Just get leads for yourself. This is now a couple of weeks later, almost a month later, or 2.5 weeks later, and I'm still giving it to you. I hope that it works for you. If you have any questions, I'm more than here. Shelby, do you have anything before you wrap it up?
Just 2 quick notes. I love that you said less platforms. That was a while back, but like, these are just more of like Shelby observation with Allie now that, or we've, been best friends for years now, and we've watched each other grow and develop. And I love the less platforms. I love the reflection on what's working. And it almost feels like, and this ties into my second one, which was, when you were talking about eliminating the E4s. I know that both of us a couple of years ago would have been like, oh, we have to do more platforms, because if we don't, we're doing the post, you might as well get it out everywhere, because, that won't be that much extra time and effort and energy. But like, having lived through that and knowing that although it seems simple, you're already doing the post, you might as well put it everywhere. You're not thinking through that, like, you're not then optimizing each platform. You're not, like you said, replying to people. And also like not thinking about the time and the maintenance for your profile and upkeep and changes over time. And like all of that just weighs. And so I love that you're like, fucking cut, let's do it. And then the other thing that we would have done a couple of years ago is like, of course we need to keep the E4s on there, because what if we are missing out on opportunity? And there's this big, learning thing that we've gone through where there's opportunity everywhere. There's so much opportunity in every single place that you look. Anything will work. Anything can work. Yes, anything can make money in a lot of ways, but that doesn't mean that you have to do them. And if you're not doing them, that doesn't mean that you're missing out. What it really means is that you're able to bring back in your energy and have boundaries within yourself and take that energy and focus it on what really matters. What really matters for you, it's different for every person. But I just want to say that I loved observing those things and you're fucking great.
Thank you so much, dude. It feels good to say no. Like, so you know what? I want to leave the audience with these two things. If you want to steal this, I've given this to you for free. Like, don't even need to tag me, but I would love to know an update after you've posted this. Number two, practice saying no this week to something that takes your time, to someone that takes your time. Say no. I recently said no to somebody and I told Shelby about it. And I was like, I feel like an asshole, but also it feels fucking good.
It's the best.
Like, oh my gosh. I was like, Shelby, this feels good.
And I'm like,
so
girl,
say
yeah.
no and let us know how it goes. Like, both of us are such big proponents of the word and we're here to help you get your time back. With that said, hope you enjoyed this episode.
Be a bro and share this show. Bye.